Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, viewers of all ages, I'd like to thank you all for stopping by and giving me your time. I am Eric Daniel Coughlin, and this is another episode of Just My Thoughts. So it's Thursday night, which means one thing. It's Thursday Night Football, which also means another thing. That's right. So Thursday technically signifies two things. It's time for my weekly picks. That's right. We are in week 5. So without further ado, what did I do last week, ladies and gentlemen? For all those who did not watch the show and did not see my picks and did not know my numbers, I went 12-4. That's right. Last week was my best week. A quick recap before I give you week 5 numbers. I meant week 5 picks, excuse me. So, week 1, 7-9, not that good. Week 2, 9-7, felt pretty good. Week 3, 6-10, freaking embarrassing. Week 4, 12-4. That's right. By the first month, by the end of the first month, I finally got it right. I finally got my feet wet. I finally got the numbers that I was looking for. Now, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get twisted. It's time for my week 5 picks. And of course, I got my handy dandy notebook. You guys have seen this notebook on the show before, so I'm not going to put it up to the screen. All I'm going to do is tell you the matchups and tell you the winners, and then at the end of it, give you the must-see top 5 matchups of the week, as we've been doing all year, as we will continue to do for the rest of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going with the Bucs. Go Baker. Jets versus Vikings. I'm taking the Jets. I'm giving the Vikings their first loss. Actually, I've been giving them losses every fucking week. I've never picked them to win, and they haven't lost. So their luck's about to run out. I hope it runs out on Aaron Rodgers. That's right. I hope Aaron Rodgers goes in there and mops the floor with them, going with the Jets. Continuing, we got the Carolina Panthers versus Chicago Bears. Who do you think I got, ladies and gentlemen? The Bears. We got the Browns versus the Commanders. I'm going to take the Commanders over the Browns. This is the reason why. I think Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson. Jaden Daniels is a rookie. Deshaun Watson is in his 6th year. He's starting to become a veteran, and he's still learning how to play the game. Dolphins versus the Patriots. I'm going with the Patriots. We got the Colts versus the Jaguars. I'm going to take the Colts. Even with Joe Flacco, I'm still taking the Colts. We got the Bears versus the Texans. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something. When I was doing my picks, when I was recording this week's schedule, this matchup was the hardest matchup for me to pick. I'm picking the Texans to beat the Bills. And it took me forever. I literally went through my entire list and then came back to this list. That's how hard, or this matchup, that's how hard it was for me to pick. We got the Ravens versus the Bengals. I'm going to take Ice Cold Joe and the Bengals. We got the Raiders versus the Broncos. I'm taking the Raiders. We got the Cardinals versus the 49ers. I'm going to take Brock Purdy. We've got the Giants versus the Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks. The Packers versus the Rams. I'm going to take the Packers. The Cowboys versus the Steelers. I don't even know why my eyes are closed. Maybe because the matchup itself sickens me. But I'm going to take the Cowboys. And we got the Saints versus the Chiefs. And I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the top 5 matchups of Week 5. Here we go. Obviously, the Bills versus the Texans. This is going to be such a big matchup. I didn't even know how to go about picking a winner. I feel like they're both winners. I feel like maybe it should be a draw. But then I got to thinking, maybe Stephon Diggs goes in there and shows Buffalo who the real man was, because they paid they paid Josh Allen, and they did not pay Stephon Diggs. Maybe Stephon Diggs gets really aggravated and really mad about the situation and dances all over that ass. Is the reason why I took the Texans to begin with. I took them because of Stephon Diggs. Then tonight's matchup, I feel like, is a very special matchup. It's a division matchup. We got the Bucs versus the Falcons. We got the badass Baker Mayfield versus the promising Kirk Cousins. We've got, Drake London and Bijan Robinson and Darnell Mooney versus Roddy White and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. This is a matchup for all matchups. Look, this is going to really... I put it to you like this. If the Bucs win tonight, or I should say when the Bucs win tonight, it opens up the door for them to run away with the division. If they don't run away with this game tonight, it leaves the door wide open. This is going to be anybody's ball game division all year long if the Bucks do not win. Another division matchup, the Ravens versus the Bengals. This is a very important matchup to me because it has been a very important matchup to me ever since the year of 2000. We're in 2024, ladies and gentlemen. For the last 24 years, I have fancied those Cincinnati Bengals because of one, Carson Palmer, TJ Houshmandzadeh, Chad Johnson. I loved that team, and I still favor that team because of Joe Burrow, because of Jamar Chase, because of T. Higgins. As long as they got a badass quarterback and two really good receivers, I'm going to like them. And even when they don't, I'm going to like them anyway because I liked them during the Andy Dalton days, even though those days were embarrassing. We're getting off track. Matchup number 3 of my top 5, Ravens versus Bengals. Then the Saints versus the Chiefs. The reason why this is a very important matchup, one, the Saints have been red hot. Even when they lose, they barely lose. When they win big. Their defense is freaking phenomenal. Their offense is putting up numbers. Their quarterback is on fire. I just did all NFC quarterbacks last night. So in case you guys want to know the quarterback numbers, the QBRs, what they passed for, how many touchdowns, how many interceptions, I gave you guys all of that. Just click back to last night's episode. You won't be disappointed. And then the Cardinals versus the 49ers. Again, another division matchup. So I happen to like the division matchups. I always key in to division matchups just so you guys know that, forewarning you for the future. You'll probably see something of this similarities down the road. And that's because, like, division games are where it's at. That's how you make your mark. That's how you could be a crappy team and still win your division and make the playoffs. It's unfair because a team like the freaking New York Giants can go 8-9 and win a Super Bowl. People like, Seattle Seahawks can go 7-9 and make the playoffs. Like, shit like that happens. It's happened in my life. Do your history, ladies and gentlemen. If you win your division, you get a guaranteed playoff spot no matter what your record is. Record doesn't matter if you win your division. That's the bottom honest truth of the NFL, which is why I key in to the division matchups. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap things up, we're going to go through the picks one more time. We do this every week. We're going to continue to do it. I got the Bucks, the Jets, the Bears, the Commanders, the Patriots, the Colts, the Texans, the Bengals, the Raiders, the 49ers, the Hawks, Seahawks that is, Packers, Cowboys, and Chiefs. Now, ladies and gentlemen, those are my week 5 picks. We are roughly 30 minutes away from the NFL kickoff Thursday night football. So, if you like what you heard and you enjoyed what you see, always feel free to cash at me, Eric Daniel Coughlin. Hashtag Coughlin Pride. Have a nice day.